Well, good evening, everybody. I know happy Monday. I hope you all were able to have some part of your weekend. I know that there was a lot of stresses over the weekend, especially with building this rough draft. I was hoping to avoid that by having this session on Friday evening and letting you guys know that it's a rough draft and it's a work in progress and all that good stuff. Um, I am hearing a little bit of echo and feedback, so what I'm going to do is I'll meet you guys. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to go in the chat box or raise your hand, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Okay. First things first, I need to be a little bit of a bad cop before we get into any of what I want to discuss tonight. Tonight is going to be pretty short and sweet. We have gone on over all the concepts, and you've been reading Resonate and Slideology. I've been providing you with feedback from since week 1, and now you guys have the peer feedback discussion board open to you, which I'm noticing many of you have gotten on top of already, which is awesome. It's really important for your professional and personal growth to be able to give and receive feedback. We had extensive discussion about that on Friday night. All the things that you should be doing both as a giver and a receiver of feedback. And majority of it is really building that safe environment. And I was talking so much about how proud I've been of my sections, especially when it came to the 3.3 discussion board in week 3. There was so much support, and so many of you just opened up to your classmates and offered suggestions and offered help. I thought that was extremely effective and useful, and I'm hoping that type of proactivity and that type of networking and building community stays with you as you progress through this program. It's so important. Especially, it's not that you tune out an instructor, or it's just easier sometimes to reach out to your classmates and get that help and that insight from your classmates. I understand that. I totally understand that. And like I said in our very first session, that it's the relationships, it's the community that you build from the very first week that is gonna prove to be just successful for you. You want to have that sense of community. So before I get into reviewing what you guys need to do for this final week, I just want to address some things, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing my job. Part of my job as your first month instructor is to set you guys up for success as you move on. This is not, I'm not trying to be hard on anybody. I'm not trying to crush anybody. It's just things that I've seen occurring week after week. And like I said, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't set you up for success. I want to see you succeed. I want to get those emails 3, 6, 12 months from now that you are doing well, you're still smiling. There's been a few obstacles, but you've been able to persevere. And I want you to really be proud of that aspect. I will tell you that the world does not stop spinning the time that you're in school. It will always turn on its axis, and there will be things that come up. There is always going to be a bill in your mailbox. There's always going to be something that goes on in your family. It's an unfortunate reality, but we're humans and we get sick, and we have times that we're overwhelmed, and we have times where we feel that there's not enough time in the day to get things done. You guys feel it, I feel it, your neighbors feel it, your friends, but understand that when you sign up for Full Sail, you sign up to further your education and gain knowledge to progress and follow your dreams. I think that's amazing. It's a commitment. It's something that it's not an easy decision to go back to school. I've been there. I've been there like over 3 times. I've been there. It's not an easy decision to look at your life and say, okay, I'm gonna take on this other responsibility. And that's what it is. Being in school, especially at a university like this where it's an accelerated program and you have a class that is open and closed in 4 weeks. That is it. There's no other time. It opens and then closes in 4 weeks. That is it. So you're making that choice to tack on that responsibility, and it is a responsibility. It's not in lieu of the other responsibilities you have. It's just as important as all of those other things. Deadlines do not go away. The class does not wait for you. And again, I'm not trying to be harsh. It's the reality of the situation. If we had to individualize the 10,000 plus students that go here, it's impossible. So you have to understand that everyone is in the same boat. Everyone has a family, everyone has bills, everyone gets sick one time or another, everyone has emergencies. This happens. This is going to happen. It's again, the world spins on its axis. I will tell you that the deadlines get even more fierce, and time management is so important to your success. And of course, we're here to help you, and we want you to succeed, and we want to help you. But at the same time, you have to meet your instructors halfway. If something is going on, reach out. And it can't be 2 hours before the deadline on Sunday when there's no instructors have families too and have things that they need to take care of too. So it has to, there has to be a happy medium. That's why I stress to be proactive. And even if you go on even if you go on the platform and all you do for that day is read the announcement or read over instructions or read the rubric or make your post on a discussion board or read some of what your classmates are posting, that puts you ahead of the game. So again, I'm not trying to be harsh, but I need to set you up for success, and deadlines are a big deal here, especially being that the class is only 4 weeks. Um, know that your instructors have deadlines also. They have to meet deadlines of getting feedback back and getting their grades in and making contact with students that may have fell behind. So um, there's things going behind the scenes also. And could you imagine if I didn't meet my deadlines, if I didn't get feedback on time, or I didn't conversate with you, or I didn't post the instructions? So there, just be mindful of that, and take ownership of the choice that you have made, and give us a chance to help you. Give us that chance. Keep that line of communication open so we have the chance to help you. And I hate being the bad cop. I really do. I just, this past weekend, I needed to address this with you. I apologize for those that are here, and majority of you that come to the sessions. You know how this works, and you've been proactive. So I do apologize that I had to make that little speech for the last 5 minutes, but it is necessary. It's something that is going to follow you throughout your program, and I want you to put your best foot forward and have everything that you need so you have those successes. I do want to preface this for those that are going to watch this back. Week 4, there's no extensions for week 4. This is something that we've been working on the entire month. I've been giving you feedback. Your peers are going to give you feedback, and you have ample time to make those little tweaks and get that submitted. You will be starting a new class on Monday. I will be starting a new class on Monday. That means a fresh new set of students for me, a fresh new set of classmates for you, and we both have to get acclimated to our new environment. So be mindful of those deadlines. Reach out to each other the entire week. Reach out to me. Let me know, like, that, I read over everything. Can you look at this? Let me help you. Let your peers help you. Make sense? Awesome. Okay, so 2 things going on here. We have the discussion board, which opened on yesterday. And I did that on purpose because I figured you're submitting your rough draft to me in 3.4 for my feedback. Why not also submit it on the discussion board instead of having it open on Monday, today instead? So if you have not posted to the discussion board this week the peer feedback, please get your rough draft up there ASAP. It is going to close on Thursday night at 11 12:59 Eastern Standard Time, the discussion board will close for feedback. The reasoning for that is that I want to give you ample time to be able to give feedback and receive and make those tweaks that are suggested by myself and your peers for your final presentation to be submitted on Sunday. So again, if you have posted or you have submitted your assignment to 3.4, which was week 3, but you have not posted it on the discussion board, please do so. And again, of course, I'll send out an email and announcement restating all that information. So on the discussion board, you have the opportunity to view your classmates' presentations. And this is time to kind of inspire each other. You all have been working behind the scenes, and some of you guys, forgive me, I misspoke. You guys have great ideas, and aside from all the discussion boards that we had throughout this month, this is your time to shine, and many of you are pouring your heart and soul into this presentation, which I think is awesome. I think that, I think it's incredible that you want to create something that is going to build, that is going to evolve, something that you can use for your portfolio, for your future. That's what I want for you. I want you to be excited of what you're going to be exposed to, and coming up with the ideas on how to create your online presence and show the world your ideas and what you can do. Show the world what your dreams. So I think that's amazing. So the only addition to what the instructions say is that I don't put my sections into groups. What I ask is that you go into the discussion board and you look for people that no one has responded to first. So let me take you into the discussion board for one moment, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you a trick that you can do. Okay, so if we go into the discussion board, and again, I have one more step than you guys do, so don't pay attention to that. But okay, we have the discussion board. You're uploading your presentation, and of course, if this is where you can insert a link. This is where you can insert media, so you can drag and drop your movie file right into here, and it'll show your presentation. But what I want to bring your attention to is right here. You can press this button up here that says collapse all, and this will give you everyone that has posted so far, okay? It will also give you the number of replies that person has. So here we have 5, here we have 2 over here, 1, no replies as of yet. What I'm asking you guys to do, I'm not assigning you to any one classmate. What I'm asking you to do is first respond to at least 3 of your classmates, and go to someone that hasn't got a reply yet first. Does that make sense so far? Cool. I want to make sure that you are all getting what you need. I want to make sure that you are getting as much feedback as possible, because it can only help you. It can only give you some insight. It can give you inspiration. So you can easily do that by hitting this button, collapse all, and you could view who has uploaded, and you could view how many replies they have. So I'll ask you to go to the ones that don't have a reply first, and then, if a student has 3 or more replies already, go to the next person. I want to make it fair for everyone. Are we cool on that? Excuse me. Cool. Okay. Now, with all your instructions, since the beginning, we've always given you guided questions as a way to kind of organize your thoughts and give you insight on what you should be thinking about when you're replying to or giving feedback, in this case, to one of your classmates. So you want to look at these questions as a way to give solid feedback. Now, what did you find most effective about the presentation? And use examples. Use examples from that person's presentation and give them specifics about what they can improve. Okay? And guide them, offer suggestions, but be positive. So you can give tough love, because honesty is the best policy, but you want to do it in a positive light and bring about things that don't only focus on the negative and what they can improve. Focus on things that have been done awesome, and things that inspired or intrigued you to keep on listening or keep on watching. Okay, so all these questions are devised to really not only for you to look at the presentations holistically, but to help improve, help that classmate really shine and you utilize their strengths in making this final presentation awesome. Okay, then it also has a reflection piece for your own presentation, and you could be going back to this after you receive some feedback. What improvements would I implement to make my final draft better? What did you like most about your own presentation, and why? So there's 2 pieces. There is offering advice for your classmates, and then there's a reflection piece. We talked about giving and receiving feedback on Friday night, and most of the conversation was that you start to realize things about your own craft and the way you tell your story, or the images you use, or the skills that you have by giving solid feedback to someone else. You start to be aware of some things that you may have not been aware of when you are in the mix of creating your presentation. So it's a duality of both. It's looking at your classmate, and it's reflecting on your piece. And that's really what this whole week is about. Then once you get my feedback and you get your peers' feedback, if you did a solid job on your rough draft, all you have to do is go in and make adjustments. So the reasoning why I told you guys to treat your rough draft as if it was your final presentation is just for that. You have all these things set in place. You have the template, you have the audio, you have your story, and all you have to do now is make those fine-tuned adjustments to make your final presentation fantastic. So what you will encounter in the next couple of days, and I've already started, is you will receive audio feedback from me. I'm using a program that I suggested to you guys in 3.3 called QuickTime Player. And QuickTime Player does a number of things. If you didn't know, it does this audio feedback. It also screen captures where you can do recording over a presentation while you're navigating through your presentation. So QuickTime Player does a number of things, and the cool thing about it is it's across platforms. So whether you have a Macintosh or you have a PC, QuickTime Player is available to you. So what you'll find this week is that audio recording. Like I said on Friday night, majority of my feedback there is going to be design. I hit heavy on content in your plans and broke down the three pillars using the why, how, and what, and picked out things from your plans that would make your presentation strong. So I hit a lot on content during your planning. Not to say I won't make some suggestions to things that I hear or things that might be missing, but majority of my feedback is going to be on design. And like I said, I started today. There was a lot of administration work that I had to do and a lot of emails, unfortunately, that I had to send out. And that was majority of my day. But you should be starting to see your feedback come in sometime tomorrow and at the latest on Wednesday morning. That way you will have a substantial amount of feedback from myself and your peers by that time to start making those adjustments to your presentation. So I did say that tonight is going to be very short and sweet. I've kind of said my spiel, my speech. I hope I wasn't too harsh on you, but I'm gearing you up for the rest of your program. I know that you're more than capable of doing it. I saw the first half of this course. I've seen it on the discussion boards. I know you guys are more than capable of being successful. So keep it up and get that momentum back, get that passion, get that drive back that I saw from the beginning. Don't lose that. And with that said, I will open it up to you guys. Do you have any questions for me regarding any of the assignments for this week. Okay, cool. Thank you, Antonia. Okay, Elizabeth, not really. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I'm glad that's good. That's good. I do want to tell you guys that throughout this week, and I told you from the beginning, if you need to come in here into a go-to session and show me something that, or you want me to take a look at something, please email me. This is available to you, and during office hours, I can hop on and see what you need. So know that go-to is available to you. All you have to do is reach out to me. I'm not beyond meeting after my office hours if you give me ample notice. So know that that's available to you. Tiffany says, should we be more focused on the what, why, and how as opposed to the sparkline and hero's journey? They're kind of one and the same. It's the sparkline has this throughout the entire presentation, and if you know your why and your and how you're going to do it and the what you ultimately want and from what you ultimately want from your presentation and what you need from your audience in order to make that happen, uh, that is the pillars. And your spark line is really navigating throughout those three main pillars, and building that tension and showing your audience what is and what could be. And wrapping that up solid at the end with that invitation to move. So they work hand in hand. The reason why I break it down into the why, the how, and the what is to make you focus on your story. So going back to the beginning when we talked about the elements of a good story, beginning, middle, and end, your why, your how, and your what is your beginning, middle, and end. And where that falls on the spark line is up to you to build that tension and make it clear. Does that make sense? Awesome. Cool. And some of the suggestions that I made during the plans, and I'm seeing it a little bit with the rough drafts that I've seen so far, is a lot of you have you really have an awesome call to action at the end, but it just falls off. It's very abrupt. And part of my feedback is, think about wrapping that up. You have this solid invitation. Think of that wrapping it up by inviting them to contact you. So I'm asking many of you to think of like a business card offering up that information to contact you. You put together this amazing presentation, you wowed them, and you want them to contact you. You want them to make that connection. So remember that this presentation, in essence, is that pitch, because you want your audience to make a choice and move and have that sit down with you. So I know that a lot of people were stressed out that it's only 4 minutes, But that's all you need to invite that contact. Does that make sense? Cool. And Tiffany, it kind of looked like you were going to ask a question. Oh, that's okay, Tiffany. Have you come to my sessions? I know all about being long-winded, but it's okay. That's what the process is about. And that's why I wanted you guys to get rid of that that anxiety about the time frame, especially for the rough draft, because that allows me as your instructor and that allows your classmates to offer you that direction. Here are people that are objectively looking at your presentation and could tell you or yeah, tell you that, think about your redundancy. There's some redundancy. There's some phrases or stories that sound similar. So why not go with that first one about your grandmother? Or why don't you go with this one that makes a nice impact? And that's okay. That's okay. It's supposed to happen that way. You know why? Because you're finding your voice. You're finding where you fit in. You are so nervous about getting your story out there and having enough information, and finding your pace that, of course, the first time you record is going to go over. Believe me. I've been there. I know, I understand, but that's why this whole process that we've been going through this entire month is so important, because we need to go through that. We need to have our first draft 12 minutes, and we need to go back and refine and reduce and record again. And Antonia, the same thing. But you know what made it effective? For you, especially, is that you were talking it out. You were talking it out, and you were able to bring yourself to a point of reduction and reflection. And it was okay that you talked it out with yourself. It's really okay. It's awesome. Oh, I know, Tiffany. Doesn't it break your heart? It really does. It breaks your heart. There's things that you're so attached to and you can't get rid of. I totally understand. I've been there, girl. I've been there. I've been there. And it's tough, but um, from my experience, it just makes you stronger. It makes you more effective. It makes you more concise. Um, and the more that you do it, the faster you get, and the more um, just you start to do things with precision, and you start to get to the point and know what you want. It's not only for your audience, but it's for you as well. You start knowing exactly what you need to do, how to hit it, and how to get it. And it builds your confidence. It really does. It builds your confidence. Anthony, yeah, that's awesome question. I would reach out to Christopher whenever you can and ask directly. Awesome. And that's what we're building this community for, is to help each other out and support each other. Remember, from day one, I told you guys that we all have talents to bring to the table and utilize them as assets. We all have different skill levels and we can learn from each other. And how cool is that there's times throughout this program, and I'm sure throughout this month, that you became the mentor. You weren't just the student, you became the mentor, you became the instructor, you became the teacher, and how rewarding that is to be able to share your experience and your knowledge. Antonia, you were on campus today. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, I will be on. I will be on campus tomorrow. I would love it if you want to get a cup of coffee or whatever you need. Just let me know. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, actually, I stood out. Usually, I'm on campus on Mondays, but I stood out this way. The high school that I taught for many years had a gathering. So I worked through the morning, and then I took a little break to go to a lunch with all of them and came back. So I will be on campus tomorrow. Awesome. You better hit me up right away. All right, I know that you guys have so much to do, and I understand that's why I wanted to make this night nice, short and sweet. Um, Please get in touch with me. Let me know if you have any questions. Um, and then I just want to tell you that something came up and I will be off on Friday. So I'm moving usually we have a session on Friday. I'm going to send out the invitation for Thursday. And really, it's just the time for us to come in and reflect. I promised you all I would share the spoken word. I would share my craft with you. So I will give you all of that. Antonia, that is a good question. The final presentations come in on Sunday evening, and then you'll probably get my grade for your presentation before you get the final grades. Final grades usually come a week after the class close. However, you'll have the idea right on the platform. You could see your grades with everything and pretty much have an idea of what your final grade is going to be. Cool. And I'm gathering that you took the behind the scenes tour, and got to see all over campus. I can understand why you're exhausted. Oh, Tiffany, it happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. Don't worry. Just be careful of that going forward. Well, that's good to know. I will look for that. Thanks for the heads up. Oh, Antonio, I'm so excited for you. You'll do awesome on campus, and I'll be in room 129. If you saw that 3F 129, that's my classroom for next month. Excellent. Aww. That's so nice to see. That warmed my heart. But okay, I'm actually gonna stop the recording, and if you